So today we're going to take a look at Fnatic versus Furia. Really fun game, mostly because, well, one, it was an incredible game, but two, we got Furia here playing both Viper and Harbor on Haven. Wild stuff. But before we get into the game, first let me talk about Gosu Academy, who are sponsoring this video. And the first 50 people who sign up using the code TMV will get 1 month for free in the Gosu Academy. And so, what is in the Gosu Academy? Well, you're going to be getting lessons from the coach of Fireflux, the coach of now Team Heretics, Neil Zeno, Tier 1 team, and Anders, who I think is working with Fnatic again as well as their strategic analyst, so some really good minds. And I think the thing that's perhaps most impactful is the weekly 10-man sessions as well, where you're put into a lobby with people of your skill, and you get to play in a much more controlled, serious environment than your ranked games. There is no excuses. There is my teammates are bad. You're going to truly learn how good you are at this game in a controlled setting where everyone is trying, everyone is calming, and you're going to get feedback on these games as well. It's truly a great test to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are in Valorant. And for the first 50 people who sign up using the code TMV just here on the discount code, you will get the first month absolutely free. So this is just a free way of getting better at Valorant and figuring out where your weaknesses are. So go and sign up for the bootcamp today using the link in the description or the pinned comment. And, well, we're going to start with round number 5, which is an absolute giga brain round from Fnatic here, as you will see. It actually starts really bad for them, as they're going to go for what looks to be a C-split to start off with. You'll see just here, they're going to slowly come into Garage. They're actually going to get this ult orb here down towards C and get Chronicle his breach ult. So they come and, you know, triple stack this, the Viper orb goes up, and that's kind of the go signal, and Chronicle goes and gets the ult orb just there. And you can see we've got a couple players here making their way towards Garage as well. So, yep, we're kind of set up to do this little C-split here. Boaster's going to come across the Garage as well. Problem is, Digi's in here for Furia as the drone's coming in. He's now going to just walk into Garage as it gets destroyed there. He gets not one, not two, but actually the third as well, and we end up in a 5v2. But Fnatic are going to manage to win this 5v2, and it really starts with a mistake here by Mazin, right? Say this all the time, 5v2, the higher, you know, the more chance you have of winning the round, the safer you want to play, right? So we definitely don't want to be just sprinting down here. You know, our job here on this harbor is to now just contain them, right? We've got more than enough time to kind of realize our mistake here and either turn back or just come into spawn, right? And you're really just there to like make sure that they don't come back the other way, or at least you have the information if they do. But instead, Mazin is just gonna sprint down here, and he's gonna run into Durka, lose that fight just there, and now we have a problem, right? Because the rest of our team are rotating towards C, but now that you've died, well, now they can come towards A. So that's a bit of a problem. But Fnatic use this information really well, because what's going to happen is Chronicle's just going to sit here, okay? He's just going to sit in that cubby whilst Durka fully sprints, okay? He's just going to sprint, full, just going crazy, sprinting down, knife out all the way to A, right? Here he is, just sprinting, and he wants them to hear him, right? And you'll see that Fury in a second, they hear him, right? There we go, off we go, and all these little arrows are going to start running away, right? But here's the thing. Chronicle never left, right? So he's just here. He's going to pick up a free kill. Really big brain stuff from Fnatic. Obviously taking a bit of a risk, right? I mean, there could have been still someone here on Durka's path, but in a 4v2, yeah, you take a risk, right? You take a risk to try and get it. And Chronicle now, he doesn't quite know if everyone's like gone. So, you know, he's in a bit of a weird spot, and he's going to see Khalil here in just a second. Durka now sprints back across the map to try and come to him. Chronicle just, you know, playing his life a bit there, as, you know, he's trying to wait in this now 3v2, and again, MW0 here, maybe we just get a bit confused about what's going on. I don't really, again, we're just doing the same thing where we're just running. We're just straight running. Durka just turns around and gets a kill. That one I genuinely don't know. I mean, he must have obviously thought he was just running down C long, but didn't consider the possibility of Durka going towards Garage. We ult in onto the site. It doesn't quite catch on to anyone. Fake the plant. He sees, I think, both players there, Chronicle. And so Durka comes out, swings, gets the kill, and we end up in a 2v1, and Fnatic will get a nice little trade here as Chronicle swings around, and they manage to win this 2v5. So, I mean, obviously, we make mistakes from Furia's point of view. You know, we give them a couple free ones. But, you know, from Fnatic's point of view, just that sprinting down A while someone says C, that was pretty big brain stuff. But now let's skip all the way to overtime, because Furia would manage to pull it back and take us to overtime, and they had a really good chance to win the game, and it was probably this was their best chance, round number 26. Fnatic and Boaster talked about this in kind of the post-match interview, you know, that he didn't really know what to do against Viper Harbor here on when they were defending, and really their answer was just be aggressive, and for pretty much all of the overtime rounds, it was we're pushing Durka somewhere. As we can see, what's happening in this round is Furia, you know, eventually are just going to go for this C hit here. But they're going to repel it pretty well here, Fnatic. You know, they start to see it's coming in. We get a really good stun there. You know, we get the Astra suck in. Chronicle, you know, almost dies. But, you know, he manages to stay alive. And we end up in this scenario where how Durka gets this kill, you tell me. I have no idea. But he does, and then, you know, this is really good by him as well, right? Just sticking around now that he has the dash active, right? Get out of there now. You know, we got the extra info. Really, really good stuff from Durka. I have no idea how he got that kill. Now we're going to see this next part of this round, though. I don't know what happens here with Boaster and Durka, because it seems like, you know, I don't know if this is a miscomp, right? At this moment, as I pause it here, it looks like we're ready to kind of double swing this. For whatever reason, Boaster's going to go, but Durka comes back. I don't know if this was just a miscommunication, but you're going to see in a second, Boaster's just going to go swinging by himself and die. I don't quite know. Yeah, it must have just been some kind of miscommunication, to be honest, because obviously this isn't great. And so, yeah, they figure out that people are towards B. Again, they're going to manage to repel this attack. We go 1 for 1 there off the stun. But what we've got this whole time, you'll see in just a second, MW0 here, he's walking up towards A. And he's going to, you know, just take this space towards A and realize that this site is completely free. So down come Furia towards A. And they're going to manage to get this plant down, and we'll end up in a 3v3. But what's more, QCK here, he's got his Viper's Pit after he plants the spike. Now, this isn't going to be the best Viper's Pit in the world, because he's going to put it around the spike there. And if we look at where this is blooming out to, right, they can still come out this way. They can still come out heaven. You know, obviously the flank is still a problem. Obviously, I mean, it's a tiny nitpick, right? And in the heat of the moment, I understand. But, you know, we end up with a, like, I always think Viper's Pit, you want to be able to put your back against a wall kind of stuff. You know, but we can't really here, right? And so that kind of allows Fnatic to come in our different directions. But what we're going to see here is Digizin, you know, he's trying to just stay quiet, you know, maybe hoping that 2 people won't be coming on the flank, but they are. And Leo ultimately gets that kill, catches him out there, and we end up in this 2v3. And Alfie is going to drop into the pit here and get his head taken off just there, but they do manage to kill the Viper, and we end up in a 1v1, and this is going to be painful watching it back, because MW0, he fully blinds Leo, but obviously he doesn't quite know that. He sends out the second flash, but Leo's actually behind the box, and so he comes around the corner and right-clicks him, gets that kill, and he just has enough time here. I think it's like less than a second here that Leo has to defuse as well. Heartbreaking for Furia, as, you know, that was really, they had such a good chance of winning that round, and was so close, but ultimately Fnatic would pull it out. Now let's come to round number 28. Another map point here for Furia. But again, we're going to see some aggression out of Fnatic. A bit delayed this time as Furia, you know, go for an early flash. And they kind of push Durka back a bit early, but he's still going to go for it, right? We get a bit delayed, but we're still ready with the 3 players here to go for this, right? And so what we're going to see is as they start to feel a bit of garage pressure, you know, the dog's going to come out here from Furia. We're going to stun down towards that. We catch 1 player out there, and then take a look at this just in a second. I mean, look at this. We've got Shock Dart, Astra Suck, Aftershock, Durka's in there as well. We got 4 of the 5 players on Fnatic, you know, affecting this player in some way. Truly kind of absurd. Maybe, yeah, even overkill here is what you would call this. But Durka gets that kill there, and then Chronicle's even going to manage to find another one through the wall here in just a second. Just there on QCK, and so we end up in a 2v5, and we can just play this a bit quicker because, yeah, Furia didn't really have, you know, much of a hope in this one, but again, it's good from Fnatic here, right? We're kind of in, you know, Alfia, I like what he does here, right? Plays nice passive positions, right? Don't want to get too aggressive in this scenario, don't want to give them, you know, a 1v1 fight or anything like that. So they do start to come towards the A site, but you can see Alfia, good position here, right? Just holding for his team, in they come towards A. And, yeah, from this point on, they are going to manage to get the spike down here, Furia, but it won't matter too much as the drone comes out. Durka gets that kill, and then somehow Durka gets this kill not with his knives, but with his gun. Don't know how that happened, but it did, and, yeah, obviously Fnatic would manage to win this round. But it would end here with round number 34. And guess what? We're going to see more aggression. I mean, look at this. 4 Fnatic players here just towards A, and they are just going to run up, right? Incense a stun. You know, we just don't care about that Harbor Cascade. In comes an Aftershock. Durga manages to get one. Now, this here from both, I'm pretty sure this is a team flash. And it's just slightly mistimed here with Chronicle, because no one gets the assist here on Boaster as he dies there. So I'm assuming that that is a team flash. But we get the trade. We end up in a 3v3. It all kind of settles down in just a second here, although Leo ends up in a pretty tricky spot. And honestly, if he gets hit by this dog here, you know, he's kind of a bit lucky that we kind of clipped the wall there, maybe, because obviously if he gets stunned, you know, he might be in some trouble. But he does manage to escape. Whilst all this is going on, though, we've got QCK. He's just, you know, walked through B. He's in their spawn. How they're aware of this? I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. The Chronicle, you know, he's walking back there and checking it. Unbelievable stuff from Chronicle, and he manages to get this kill, and I love what they do here, right? Oh, I've got Breach ult. You know, let's just leave A, right? Forget A. And as we can see, Furia do start to walk down A, and that's where they will end up. But I like the way that they play this as well, right? Because initially it seems like Fnatic, you know, it looks like Chronicle wants to be like, oh, on the tap of the spike, I'm going to ult them, and away we go. But I prefer the way that they play it, right? We've seen a lot of teams, I think, like to go for these fast retakes, right? Fast retakes. But I always think, like, when you're in a 3v2 and you've got kind of the util advantage and all that kind of stuff, you know, I prefer what they do here, where it's like, we're waiting for a push instead, and he notices, okay, they tapped it again. You know, this one, the way they actually plant, could be a tap, right? I prefer this, and so we're just going to wait for Althea to come with us as well. We still have this ult, right? We've got plenty of util, you know. Let's just kind of wait. We send in the drone. It clears this corner for them, right? Which means the MW0 is in just a kind of terrible spot. Althea swings. Now we get the ult. They both get smacked by it, right? And it's good stuff here from Fnatic overall to just win that round. And I like that they, you know, kind of took their time with that one, because, you know, they were in a good position, right? They had a 3v2. They just needed to make sure they weren't getting pushed, and they won an absolute marathon of a game. Honestly, if you didn't watch this game live, you missed out big time, because I'm just showing you a couple of like the cool rounds at the end, but this was a really, really cool game.